I've had a lot of technical difficulties, but we pushed through. And thank goodness that I have a techie son in San Diego who can take control of my computer and figure out what's the problem. Half a day, everyone. This is Becky Tovas with Crafty Chamarita. I'm coming to you live on a Friday. Normally, I go on live at 12 o'clock, but because of one technical difficulty or another, I've had to be delayed. So those of you who were trying to watch me at 12, I apologize for not coming on at my regular time. But hopefully, if you don't get to catch me live today, that's okay. You know, you can catch me on the replay. Nothing wrong with that. So today, I'm going to share with you an exciting new bundle. It's part of the online exclusive. So it was released back in July. And it was one of those things that I knew it was fun, but I didn't realize how fun it actually was till I started playing with it. And I tell you, you guys, this is a stamp set, a bundle that you really should get because it is so versatile. There's so many things that you can do with it. And what I like is the fact that because they're leaves, you can use them for feminine or masculine cards. So in fact, because I'm part of the card ministry and we were asked to do masculine cards, I did quite a few using this bundle. So I'll show you those sample cards later on in the video. So if you are watching, please leave a comment so that I know you're here. Okay, let me go ahead and change to my workspace. But before I start talking about the bundle, I wanted to share with you the fact that there is a great promotion going on with Stampin' Up. So right now there's a 15% off sale off select designer series paper from the annual catalog. So not all of the DSP are on sale. Only select ones are. And if you'd like to know which ones, contact me and let me know, and I can send you the flyer. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to upload PDFs onto my page. I can't figure out why. So if you want it, then I can email it to you. If you just send me your email. And those of you who are part of my email chain, you should have gotten the email yesterday, and I've attached the flyer so that you could see which designer series paper is going to be on sale. And in fact, I'm going to be using this designer series paper for a class that I'm holding in August. What's the date? I don't remember. But if you look at the the email, and then the event page, because I'll be creating an event for that. I just forgot. 23rd? Does that sound right? It's a Saturday, whatever that Saturday is. Okay, so enough about administrative stuff. Let's get stamping, right? Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to flip the white paper down around so that it blocks the glare. Still haven't figured out how to get rid of the glare. So the Changing Leaves comes with a stamp set and a hybrid embossing folder. So all it means when it says a hybrid embossing folder, it simply means that you have an embossing folder with a die at the same time. And if you can use them together, that's what they're meant to do. So in fact, let me see if I can get this right. I'm putting the die in, and if you just kind of play around with it, you can feel where it's supposed to be, because it'll settle nicely in the grooves, right? And I'll show you how this is going to work. So this video today is really going to be about the cards that you can make with this, and also some tips that I'd like to share with you, mostly from trial and error. So if I can save you the angst of making mistakes, then I will. Okay. All right. So let me show you first of all how it looks like when you just use the stamp. So when I stamped it and then I used the die cut, it looks like this. So you've got the lines of the leaves on, hopefully that's close enough so that you can see it. The lines of the leaves show for the image. This is just straight stamping and die cutting, right? Okay. The other one that I wanted to show you is when you use the hybrid embossing folder. So I'll make it go close so you can see. There's some texture there from the embossing and then the die cutting. So it'll emboss it and die cut it at the same time. How great is that, right? Love it. Absolutely, absolutely love it. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to show you is, and sorry, I'm going to break out my Stamparatus. And if you don't have it, I'm so sorry. I wish, we didn't have to disconnect it. This is like one of the greatest tools ever. So I just had a class last week, Saturday, and I use this particular set for my class. All right. So you guys notice that the dies kind of go right in the middle, right? So if you're wondering how to set the stamp so that it fits perfectly with the die, this is a little trick you may or may not be aware. But what you can do, first of all, is set it. Remember how I told you put the die, it goes like this, right? So you've got the embossing folder and the die. And if I were to, let me just do it now so that you could see it. I'm going to turn it upside down because really the die should be facing down with the Stampin' Up label, because I got that question a lot on Saturday. How do you know which side to use? And it's basically the side that has the Stampin' Up emblem on it. So you put the die in it and then you put the paper, right? So I ran it through the machine and this is what I got. So I got a negative, right, from the die cutting. And then what I did was I took the stamps and I put it in here. So that way I could see where it's supposed to go on the page. And I did it for all 3 stamps. So now anytime I use it, well, for this time around, because I pretty much have used it on Saturday. So let me put this underneath, because remember when you're using your Stamparatus, put the ink or something underneath so that it doesn't put too much pressure on the hinges, because you want to protect the hinges. You don't want these to wear out. Okay, so I marked down on my paper where the paper is supposed to go. I put little tick marks there, and I'm going to put my, oh no, I'm sorry. Pretend this is blank. This is not right. Okay. Let me take this out. Let me get that white paper. I'm just going to put it here because I've already designated. Okay, and you know what? Let me just, am I going to use this paper? Probably not. So let me just ink this up so you see what I'm talking about. Sorry. Pardon my cough. I still have that lingering cough. And I'm just inking it up with Old Olive just because it just happens to be on my table. Make sure everything is covered. And then let me stamp it. I got my, what do you call this? Stucky? Is it Stucky? Chucky. It's called a Chucky tool. My sister made it for me. It's just a doorknob. In case you haven't seen one of my previous videos, she just took a doorknob and then she put those things, the ones you put underneath your furniture when you're moving it so that it doesn't scratch up your floor. And that's what she put there. So ingenious, right? I've got a very talented sister. Okay. All right. So it looks like this when it's all stamped up. Okay. You know what? I'm not going to run it through the embossing folder. I wonder how it'll look. You know what? Oh, it might not be in the same place. No, I better not do that. Okay. Let me get this out of the way. You know what? I don't think I need to die cut this because this is not what I want to show you guys. I want to show you how to do it. If I did this correctly, everything should align, right? We'll see. I hope I don't end up eating my words. I could feel it. This one hooked. I'm trying to get the other ones to hook too. There, I felt it and I heard it. Oh no, I better not. Because you know what, this may not be a line. So you know what, okay, I pretend. Okay, never mind. I'm just gonna do it. Never mind. I don't have an extra one here, so you'll see. It's not gonna be a line because I didn't match it up to the embossing folder. Okay, and I'm just gonna get my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine out here. And because this is a hybrid embossing folder, I'm going to use the standard plate, and then I'm going to use plate number 4. And it'll tell you that. So when you look at the directions here, that's why I love this, because it tells you exactly what you need to use. You don't have to memorize anything. Okay, and I'm just going to run it through the machine. Okay, didn't catch. There. Okay, now I feel it. It caught. Okay, I'm gonna move this out of the way. I'm just gonna get the what I cut out of the machine. Oh, not too bad. It's only off by a little. That's okay. Move this aside. So you see how it cut, it embossed, and it cut at the same time? Now I'm wondering what kind, you can't really tell. Yeah, you can't really tell with the embossing that's there. I could feel it, but you can't really tell. Yeah, so you don't need to do that, right? So don't stamp it and then emboss it, because it's just a waste. So just emboss it, right? Okay, let's get this out of the way. So that's what I wanted to show you, how to use the hybrid embossing folder. And then I wanted to show you something else. So when you cut out your pieces, right, you're going to get a negative. So don't throw away your negative, because you can always use it to make another card. So I wanted to show you guys how I did this, and I wanted to do it live so that you don't make the same mistakes that I did. Okay, so I'm going to need the back of this. So what you're going to do, first of all, is you need to decide for this negative, which part do you want to keep, right? Because you're going to cut it down to 4 by 5 1/4. So which part do you want to keep? Do you want to mostly keep this? Do you want to mostly keep that? So you can do whatever you want, right? It's really up to you. Now, when I did this, I think what I wanted to do is try to get a lot of the leaf, especially to keep this one, right? But just remember, there's going to be itsy bitsy pieces that you need to make sure that you keep. Okay, so let me cut this down to 4. And because there's some pieces here, oops, let me move this up so you can see it. Because there's some skinny pieces here, oops, oh man, it moved. I'm going to go at it from the top, and then I have to get that piece. Oh no, that might be a little bit difficult. Okay, that's not going to work. So I can't use the cutter for it, but it's here, still here. These pieces don't, like I said, you're going to need them, so don't throw them away. So that's the 4, and then I'm going to cut it to 5 1/4. Okay, that one has more of a edge, so I'm going to use that side. Maybe not. Okay, let's do it around this way. 5 1/4. And it moved. I'm going to put it back because you're going to need these pieces. So this is the only tricky part, and you'll see what I'm talking about when I start to assemble everything. So you're going to need a back piece for it. So this is 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, and you're going to need to glue it. Glue it down so that it doesn't move. So I'm just going to glue it in random places, enough so that, see these small pieces? I don't want those sticking out. It's going to make sure I put glue there. Okay, and let's glue this down. This is actually not the card that I'm going to make on mine, but I just wanted to show these tricks, right? Okay. All right, so, oh, that's one thing about the glue. I could still move it to make it fit. All right, now I cut this out in soft suede, and I'm just going to put it in the empty blanks here. Okay. Why isn't this matching? Is this supposed to be reversed? Okay, wait a minute. Oh, it's this way. There you go. It goes like this. Scared myself for a second. Like, how come it's not matching? Okay, and I'm just going to glue the other pieces. Remember, you can use any part of the leaf that you want to keep. If you don't want to stick it in like this, then you can always not cut out the back piece and just put this and just elevate it on dimensionals. But I like this feeling of everything being flat. It just looks pretty like that. It really does. Okay, I'm just going to stick this in here. And if I miss any parts, I'll go back and I'll fix it. So remember how I told you that if you're going to try to do this, make sure you keep the pieces, right? So there's a piece that's going to go in here. It's a skinny one. I'm not going to make this exact. I just want to be able to stick it in, because anything that's excess, I'm going to get my scissors and I'm just going to cut it off. So this is going to go in here. And then this piece is this down here. Were you guys able to take advantage of bonus days and free shipping? I hope you did, because man, when those promotions come around, you just have to jump on it. So my order from that day came in today, but I haven't had a chance to look at it and open it up. But I will probably as soon as I'm done with this live. All right, you see all of these pieces that are sticking up with glue on them? So I'm just going to take my scissors. And I have these pink yucky scissors. It's got glue all over it. This is what I use all the time when I'm cutting things that are sticky, when they have adhesive on it, because I don't want to get this mixed up with my other scissors that I use just to cut paper. Okay, let's move this out of the way. Oh, I've got a whole bunch of glue on my surface. You know, that's one thing about the glass mat. It's so great. All you need to do is get some kind of cloth and wipe it off and it'll come off. All right, so now this front is ready to be used for another card. So that's why I said don't throw away the negatives, because you can make more cards with it. And then these pieces here, you can always hand cut these out, the embossed pieces, or you can cut strips and just use pieces of that for another card. So even though this, you know, it feels like, oh, wow, this is too big, don't worry about it, because you can always use it for other things, right? Okay, so that's what I wanted to show you with the different tricks. And now we're actually going to make cards. All right, so I'm going to take my embossing folder, which I put on the side here. Okay, and this is the side, the one that says Stampin' Up. This is the side that I'm going to color. So I'm just going to take my Pretty in Pink, not Pretty in Pink, what do you call it? The peacock one, Pretty Peacock, sorry. And I'm going to just give it some color here. And I'm going to do it over the whole thing, because even if I don't use the pieces, oh, for the main part of the card, I can always use it, the parts that are cut off for another card. And if you want some color on the inside, you can put some color there. Okay, I'm going to press it down a little bit because I want some pretty peacock in the inside of the leaf. So it depends on how hard you press down, how much color you want. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to also introduce another color. I'm going to do crushed curry. And I'm going to use my dauber, which I know I put here so I can find it easily. And where did it go? Sorry, guys. Sometimes I change things at the last minute where I'm going to place things to make it easier. And then I can't find it. Okay, where are you, dauber? All right. Okay. Let me just look around for a second here. Okay. I found this one, but not the one I wanted to use for... Oh, here it is. It was hiding. I knew it was here. Okay. So I don't want to contaminate my ink pad when I'm doing this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the ink onto a block. And then I'm going to get the color from the block. So I'm just going to saturate that pretty well so that I have color to work with. If I try to do this and put it on, I'm going to get pretty peacock all over my ink pen, and I don't want that. I don't want to cross-contaminate the colors. So I'm just going to pick some color off of this, and I'm just going to gently put it inside the leaf. I realized I do need another 6x6 for this. I shouldn't have used that white paper, right? Okay. So sometimes when the yellow gets mixed in with the pretty peacock, it creates like this bronze color. Very pretty. One of my cards had it and I thought, oh, I like that effect. Okay, that leaf didn't have color, but because there's color here, it transferred, so I was able to ink it up. Okay. Now, of course, because I don't have a 6x6, I'm not going to take advantage of that. So let me grab a piece of wood and I'll cut one real quick. So when I was cutting this for my class, I actually used the 12x12 papers because it was, you know, it was less waste. But I don't have that handy, so I'm just going to use my 8.5x11. Oops, wrong one. I used a scorer there. And because this has been sitting around for a while, I'm just going to breathe on it. It's called Dragon's Breath to activate the ink. I'm just going to put that in. I'm going to get my machine. And I'm going to emboss it. Hopefully it'll come out as pretty as I think it will. Okay. There you go. This machine is so handy. I love the fact that we can fold up the the two ends, pack it up, and it's so much easier to transport. And oh, look at that. That is gorgeous. Can you see that? See, you can see the colors with the, it doesn't even look like it's crushed curry, right? So pretty. So this is what I'm going to use for my card. So I'm just going to cut out a 4 by 5 1/4. I don't want to use this side because I think this was where the embossing folder landed. I'm going to use this side, 4 by 5 1/4. If you guys are wondering why I'm using the top part here, it's because I can see the line, so it makes my cutting a lot straighter. And so I'm going to use this for my card, but look at the two pieces that I have on the side, right? So I'm going to save this so I can use it for another card. We don't want anything to go to waste. Okay, so let me get out my pretty peacock base, and I have a ribbon there. And these are pieces that I've already pre-cut. Okay, so I don't know if this white is getting in the way. Maybe if I put this here to cover the glare, that would be better, right? We'll see. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, first of all, let's transfer this. I'm going to get my ribbon and I'm going to secure it around my card. Now this is an old pretty peacock. I went looking around for what pretty peacock ribbon I had, and this is one of those that I had and I felt like it worked better, so I'm using that. And I'm just going to tape it to secure it around the card. I just feel like the tape works better than using the glue or the glue dots. I want to make sure it's going where I want it to go. And let me tape that piece down. There you go. Okay, and now I'm going to take this and I'm going to adhere it to my card base. This is pretty peacock. Such a pretty color. And here we go. Let me make sure that I'm opening it the right way, because when I did a card last week, I don't know if you remember, I did it the wrong way. So I had to fix it, go back and fix it. I'm just going to make sure this is placed correctly. And I like to, if I'm going to give it a rub, I turn it around so that I don't mess up the design. And I just rub there. Okay. All right, and I have a piece of pretty peacock, and I also have white. I think this was a leftover packet that I had from my class. So do I want to use both? No, I think I'll just use that. So I'm going to use dimensionals for this, but because the ribbon is there, I'm going to make sure that I put it only on the top so that it'll go around the ribbon. And 2 dimensionals is enough. It'll secure it. It's going to go here. And I went ahead and I pre-stamped one of the messages. It says, "A little note to brighten your day." And I used the die cut that comes in the set. So this comes with it. And I'm just going to put it on top of that. I like the sentiment for this card because you can use it for different purposes, right? Just to say hi, or just, to let somebody know you're thinking of them. I have so many friends, unfortunately, who are sick right now. They're going through different things. So, I might just send one of them to them. And I'll make sure that for the inside, I'm definitely going to have to put the white. And then if I wanted to, I can just cut this strip and put it in there. So a little bit of the front comes into the card. In fact, I think I'll do that. So that way, let me just do it now before I forget. It's just a hear this. And this can very, very easily be used as a get well card too, right? Okay. And I'm going to take that strip and I'm just going to put it on the bottom. Okay. I'm going to make it flush. There you go. So that way, what's in the inside matches what's on the outside. Cool, right? I love it. That's one fun thing that you can do with that card. All right, let me show you other cards that I made using this stamp set. So here I used the vellum, the gold vellum. This is a new designer series paper. And I just stamped it and I die cut it. And then I put the stamp set, the sentiment, you are amazing in every single way. This comes with the bundle, right? Okay. And then this one, very similar to the card that I made. But this time around, I put with deepest sympathy because I mentioned to you before, for our card ministry, we were asked to make male masculine cards. And this is perfect, right? For sending it out. And see, I don't know if you noticed the difference between the card that I made and then this one here. I use exactly the same color. I use crushed curry, but I think because it mixed in a lot more with the pretty peacock, it came out to be bronze versus this one. You could see a little bit of the yellow and the green. So it just shows that even with the same color, depending on the magnitude of it, then, it has a different look to it. And this is another similar thing. This is what we did for my class on Saturday. Okay, and then we just used a hexagon and cut it in half and then split it. And then these two, oh my gosh, this is what I had so much fun with. So what I did first of all is I used the fine shimmer paper. This is retired, and I embossed it and then I die cut it, and then I cut out the other pieces that come in the set. So I don't know if you see these leaves. There's a bunch of leaves that come in this set. So I put it in with this design, and then I use black because this is going to be a masculine sympathy card. And then I put with deepest sympathy. I don't know if you can see this. This is a really pretty paper. And then with the negative, this is what I made. So pretty, right? Same, using the same pieces, but it has a totally different look to it. Okay. And I think these are all the cards that I have to show you. There's so many different things that you can do with this stamp set. Like I mentioned to you at the beginning, it's so versatile. And I love it. It's a very fun set that you can use to make regular cards. You can use it for the fall, for the autumn, and I can see this being used for a Christmas set too. You can use it for anything. So hopefully, in this video, I've inspired you by showing you some of the designs and some of the tips and tricks you can use with the Changing Leaves die set. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I'd be more than happy to try to answer any of your questions. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody, and I'll see you next week, Friday. Bye.